Welcome to Midtown Sounds. Over the course of this film, we hope to show you just what's going on in the town of a musical note. This is not all the town has to offer, it's just a snapshot. We're looking to shine a light on some of the great work already taking place and helping inspire others to perhaps pick up an instrument and join us on our journey. It's fitting that we start here in the Braid Arts Centre, home of the Braid Music Club. The Braid Music Club has been running music events here since the Town Hall's refurbishment in 2008. In that time, the club has established itself as one of the country's premier music nights, attracting international and national talent. Grammy-nominated American artist Tiff Merritt even included us as part of her 2013 UK tour. When acts perform here at the Braid Music Club, they do so under the watchful eye of our most famous musical son, David McWilliams, best known for his international hit, The Days of Pearly Spencer. David is well placed to keep an eye over any emerging talent. The club are happy to pay tribute to his work and have organised nights with local artists reinterpreting his songs. We're happy to involve the Williams family in honouring his life and continuing his legacy. Another cornerstone of live music in our town lies here on Church Street at the British Telecom and Post Office Club. The BT Club, as it's known to locals, has been a refuge for many creative endeavours within the town. The most famous of these perhaps is the BT Blues Club. Established in 2007, it's brought a range of classic rock and blues acts to the town. Famous for its Saturday afternoon shows, it is now a staple on the circuit. The BT Club also plays host to the town's premier open mic night. Established by musician Joe Allen and his Biddy Early group, the simple act of giving people in town a place to play has brought a real change to the local music scene. Joe's work is now being carried on by David McKendry, and his Rusty Strings and Dirty Fret night takes place here on the first Thursday of every month. Occasionally, for some of our local artists, their songs travel and they're able to find a home beyond the town. One of these artists is Amanda St. John.
Bring me some comfort, bring me relief. Won't you bring me some peace of mind so that I can finally breathe? Cause some days I'm heavy and I'm not in control, and my thoughts, they hold me right back from living my life as I know. Being burned by the fire, when all that I want's to be free. But my mind's in a place that I can't seem to reach. And I need to believe, 'cause I have been broken before, so I know how this feels. Release my burden, release my fear. Won't you release me from my pain so that I can see things more clear? And show me a pauper, and I'll show you a king that's destined to seem to reach. And I need to believe, 'cause I have been broken before, so I know how this feels. And we all need to believe, 'cause you have been broken yourself, so you know how this feels. You know how this feels. But it'll be okay. You're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay.
Lovely stripped back performance for us there, Amanda. Is that how this song began its life?
It did actually. I wrote that song along with Michael Marmika on piano, so he was playing piano. So I had the melody and the vocal idea, or the lyric idea, and then I brought it to Michael, and we worked on the piano with it, yeah. But it took on a life of its own then in the studio. So the studio version is actually like a distorted guitar version, so it's quite kind of dark guitar. So it was lovely to play it with piano there and bring it back to what it was.
And yeah, as you said there, you know, once you do write the song, you look forward, you move on to what you're going to do in recording and production, that sort of thing. Yeah. Could you have imagined where these songs were going to go whenever you were first writing them?
Not really. Whenever I started writing for that album, that song's off my new album. Whenever I started writing it, I was planning on, you know, I was just thinking about different studios, and in the end I went to Muscle Shoals, to Fame Studios, as you know, Muscle Shoals, because my heroes have all recorded there. So when I started writing the album, I wasn't preparing for that. But then when I found out that I was going to Fame, I scrapped half of it and went back to the it was almost like it helped me to raise my game a wee bit. So I think Bring Me was one of the original ones, yeah, but it just, yeah, raising the game's the only thing. We were raising the bar, and it was like, right, if I'm going to stand in the same vocal booth as Aretha, I want to make sure that I'm doing my absolute best. And we kind of went back to the drawing board and just reworked and made sure the songs were as good as they could be.
So I have here in my hands the album, and
yeah.
you know, obviously once you get it this far, you have to be very proud of it.
Yeah.
It takes an awful lot of work. During that process, you know, was there any lessons that you've learned that might be of benefit to other local musicians?
Yeah, it's a very expensive thing to record an album, especially when you're going to America to do it. I was very lucky that I did get funding. I got funding from the Arts Council, but I got funded from the crowdfunder. Be careful where you do your crowdfunding. I suppose that's something that I've really learnt. Resilience is the main thing, I think. When I was in the studio for a week, I was literally falling apart. The pressure was immense. And then when I look at that now, I am so proud because I know what it took. I know the obstacles, I know what it took for me as a person to complete it. And it makes you even prouder of it then.
And having said all that, unfortunately with, you know, every success you have as a local artist, you know, it's not easy really to rest on it. You have to be looking ahead at what's next for you.
Yeah.
Can you let us know what maybe you have planned and what's next?
Yeah, just moving on to new recordings really. The touring side of things has really changed for artists at the minute. So I'm pulling back on touring, and I think I'm just going to focus on digital releases for the next wee while. I'm in the studio recording my new single, and then I'll start working towards an album.
Okay, well, as people know, I'm into my records, and I'm very happy to have this one in my collection, so thanks for that.
Thanks, Joe.
How many times am I gonna have to say?
We're down here in John Street, the home of Red Star Music and the Ballymena School of Music.
Any
Established in 2007, the Ballymena School of Music offers tuition in a range of instruments, all in their fully equipped music school above their shop. Working across a range of examination boards, they're able to provide lessons on a wide variety of musical styles. They're a one-stop shop, and they'll take you from your first instrument, through your first lesson, and to your first song. On the subject of first instruments, should you go for a Braid River violin, you may struggle to play anything else. Located here on Princess Street, Johnny Murphy, a fourth generation violin maker, carries out repairs, refurbishment and handcrafts violins. Even if the violin you're looking for is not on the shelves yet, Johnny can design and craft one to your exact specifications. An experienced local musician, Johnny plays a vital role in carrying on the traditions of local music in this local area. He was at the forefront of the Braid Museum's recent Fife and Fiddle exhibit, which helped to trace and mark the origins and roots of our local traditional music. It's wonderful to have such knowledge, passion and craftsmanship right here on our doorstep. Another strong root of the local music scene lies here on Church Street with the music rooms and its owner Rodney Beggs. Another local musician with a strong performing background, Rodney and his team provide instruments and tuition in Ballymena and Antrim. A visit to the shop is worth it for a chat with local music legend Jerry McLean, a stalwart of the show band scene.
Thinking of ways to make it right.
Another staple of the show band scene, and perhaps the biggest icon in the local music scene, is the Flamingo Ballroom. Located on Ballymoney Street, it was a shining light for national and international talent. The Rolling Stones, Rory Gallagher, Tom Jones, all played in the town on the invitation of local businessman Sammy Barr. Love blossomed, friendships were forged, and although it closed its doors in 1980, it still plays a big part of our local music scene. Like the streets of this town, this band has seen many changes, experiencing their own Indian summer and riding a strong wave of a second coming. It's my pleasure to introduce to the Town Hall stage, Blues Taxi.
If you love me like you say, why you treat me like you do? If you love me like you say, baby, why you treat me like you do? Oh well, I ain't no fool. I'm cool, I know the rules. Said you'd never run around. You said you'd never stay out late. You said you'd never run around. You said you'd never stay out late. Oh, let me tell you, pretty baby, I'm gonna get you straight. If you love me like you say, why you treat me like you do? And if you love me like you say, babe, why you treat me like you do? Oh, well, I ain't no fool. I'm cool, I know the rules.
So in doing my research for the band, there was quite a few names to go through, so I'm not sure we can mention everyone who's ever been a part of Blues Taxi, but can you give me maybe an idea of the original lineup and then who we have playing for us today?
Okay, Joe. Original lineup, Taxi, sort of evolved late 60s through into early 70s, was Sam Nevin, lead guitar, who is not with us anymore, passed away, Paddy McCauley, Trevor Irwin, and my brother Ronnie Moore, myself Sam Moore, and then Henry McQuillan played in the band for a while. That was the original lineup, and we've evolved into Blues Taxi nowadays with Steve McConnell, Gordon McKee, Ronnie, myself, and Jim Arthur.
And back in the 60s then, when Taxi was starting, you know, how did it all start? How did it all come about? How did you meet the rest of the boys?
It was like just by sheer chance, you know, meeting around maybe the snack bar down at the George or Abercorn, you know, and fancy getting a band together. He wants to play rhythm or bass, and that's how Sam Nevin and myself started.
And you had a real successful run of it at the time. What were the highlights for yourself there?
It was great.
And the band.
Yeah, it was great. The Flamingo was great where we started off, and then we did the Belfast Sammy Houston's Jazz Club, all the rest of the Marquee, and then we evolved down to move to Dublin, where we played in the National Stadium in Dublin with John Mayall's band and Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac and bands like that. Yes.
And the music scene in the local area at the time when you were starting, what was there out there for you to be playing, and what other bands were maybe about at the time?
Oh, there was some great bands, you know. Every town, local town, right from Port Rusty here, had different groups and bands, you know, getting into, because the music was just coming out then with the Stones and Beatles and all the rest of it, and that's how the rest of us all got involved in different bands. It was great, you know. It's good.
And so what would maybe be some of your hopes for the band for the next few years, and maybe some of the local music scene here locally? What would you like to see happening?
We're concentrating on into summer festivals and things like that there. We can hope, we'll just see where it takes us. We're hoping maybe some stage put an album together or a few tracks of our own together and get them down and get them out there, you know.
That's great. Well, I know for a fact that you definitely have an influence on the local music scene, and a local musician in particular. I have in my hand here the latest album from Arborist, and as you well know, there's a track on it named Taxi, and in reference to one of the members of the band. What was it like for you to hear that there was going to be a song after so many years that spoke of your band and Henry?
It's great. It's a very good track. I've heard it's brilliant. It's very much appreciated. And Big Henry, after I left, I was the first casualty that decided I needed time out, and Henry came in, did a great job for a short time, you know, and then the band then it evolved on from there.
He started playing bass in a band called Taxi, but he was always more style than substance. Taxi, however, were beginning to go places, and were invited down to Dublin to open for Thin Lizzy.
I think the main thing for the band is that we have the venues to play, and that's the important thing. Not only around Ballymena, but in other towns and in the city and Belfast. But it is finding the venues that will accommodate the type of music that we do, because we're very passionate about blues. And we have a couple of really good venues in the town. We know that you here in the City Hall and the council do a good job with blues evenings and days and stuff. So
also the BT Blues Club's great as well for the town. It's good, you know, it supports all local bands and everybody gets to go in there. It's great, you know.
Well, I just want to say thanks because, as soon as I discovered the band were back playing again, I took a real interest in them and I wanted to see you play live. And so I'm really grateful you were able to come here today and play for us. And we look forward to seeing what you're doing in the future.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for having us. It was great. Thank you. Lovely.
Contemplating the next morning, having to face another day.
If you're looking to get your hands on the Arborist or Amanda St John record, then you've got to head to Hill Street. Beginning in 2013 with the establishment of Track Records, and continuing with the work of Johnny Holmes and Fairhill Records, Hill Street is the unofficial home of vinyl records in the town. Fairhill Records stocks a range of new and pre-loved vinyl records, as well as CDs, t-shirts and memorabilia. When you're browsing in store, keep an eye out for the new Midtown Sounds local music box, which is packed full of vinyl releases from local artists, giving you the chance to support your local musicians and your local record store all at the same time. Music scenes aren't created, they grow organically. They are a product of the people within them and the stories they have to tell. I have seen momentum building in the local music scene here over the last number of years, and musicians in this town have the talent and the passion to be a huge asset to it. There are outlets here for music. Some of them are hidden, and most of them need more support, but they are here. And if you still can't find a place to play, there's always the street. Busking was the starting point for most of the world's big musicians. And in the coming months, we hope to establish a number of busking spots where busking in the town centre will be both welcomed and encouraged. As things open up again and normality resumes, so will the music. The scene will follow. How will we build it? With these hands. There's a blood red circle, cold dark grind. The rain is pouring down. Church doors thrown open, I can hear that organ song. The congregation's gone. My city of ruins, my city in ruins. The sweet bells of mercy drift through the evening trees. Young men on the corner like scattered leaves. Boarded up windows, the empty streets. My brother's down on his knees. My city of ruins, my city in ruins. Come on, rise up. 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 Come on and rise up. Now there's tears on the pillow, darling, where we slept. And you took my heart when you left. Without your sweet kissing, my soul is lost, my friend. Tell me, how do I begin again? My city of ruins, my city's in ruins. My city of ruins. My city's in ruins. And with these hands, 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 with these hands. Come on, rise up. 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 Come on and rise.
Come and rise up, my city of the west, my city in the west. Come and rise up, my city.